President Trump is working quickly to shrink the federal government. His administration has ordered layoffs that could potentially impact hundreds of thousands of workers.
The president says the move slashes wasteful spending and pushes the civil workforce to be more responsive to his policies. But people are now out of jobs and unsure of what's next. WCIA 3's Gabriela Mirando live in our newsroom. Gabriela, you talked to someone who was recently laid off and went to a rally about this today. What'd they have to say?
A former USDA employee told me people were crying last week after learning they had been fired as part of sweeping federal job layoffs. Progressive groups are now calling on state politicians to take action against what's leaving people in central Illinois without jobs and full of uncertainty.
Fight for workers! Fight for workers!
The federal government is the country's largest employer, but it's been getting smaller ever since President Trump stepped back into the White House.
I went into the office Friday morning. The previous night at 7:50 p.m. I had been sent an email that was titled Termination Notice Probationary Employee.
On Thursday, Trump's administration ordered agencies to lay off nearly all probationary workers. Those employees have generally worked for less than a year and aren't covered by civil service protections.
If we keep going down this path, I am concerned that government of the people, by the people, for the people will perish from the United States.
The progressive group Champaign County Indivisible rallied outside of Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski's office, advocating for people like A.J. Ruggieri from Champaign. He worked for a sub-agency of the USDA until last week, when he and others in the office were fired. Ruggieri says the termination letter he got said he failed to demonstrate that his work was in the interest of the public, which he says is a lie.
I very much believe in the principles of America, but I also, believe that we are supposed to take care of each other.
He plans to use connections in the community to figure out his next steps, something that has the added pressure of a family waiting back home.
I'm married, I have 3 kids. The idea of how we're going to be able to maintain the level of life that we've had is in question now.
5 unions for the government employees have sued Trump and his administration over the firing, saying it's illegal and violates procedures for reducing the workforce. But this could only be the beginning. Trump signed an executive order last week that told agency leaders to plan for more cuts on the way. Live in the newsroom, Gabriela Mirando, WCIA 3, your local news leader.